Hey everybody!
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back to the King of the Bean. I'm your host Ian. I have Josh and I have Ryan.
Us.
It me.
This week we thought we'd play a little game, just have some fun. I know we just came off of about 3+ hours of deep dive ish into Project 2025, and we thought let's just have some fun and kind of, you know, be lighthearted because politics is a lot, and we don't need to talk about that all the time, even though it is very important. So this time, quickly came up with a game. I'm just going to ask the boys here a couple of weird scenarios and like what they would do.
Is
Um,
this Ian's weird scenarios?
yeah, I was trying to think of something clever, like Ian's interesting.
Expeditions.
Expeditions. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
They're not
thinking.
Yeah.
experiences.
Okay. All right. Ian's interesting experiences. Bless you, Josh.
Um,
Thank you.
so yeah, so let's get into it. That's not my phrase. That's somebody else's. But yeah. So the first one is you wake up to discover that gravity no longer affects you, but everyone else is still bound by gravity. How would this change your life?
Wait, so does that mean I wake up and I'm floating up to my ceiling? I'm on my
Yeah.
ceiling because I'm bumping in the ceiling because I'm
Yeah.
no longer affected by gravity?
Yes.
I mean, how that would
I
affect
would
my
be.
life is I can't leave my house or any kind
Oh,
of
you
contained.
just carry something heavy at all times. Like you carry rocks in your pocket. Unless as soon
Yeah, I
as you
guess
get
so.
attached to me, then I still float and they become lightless too. Like how
So
far does this go?
right. Are we the only weightless things, or do things we touch transfer our weightlessness?
Um, we'll say that it's just you, so you can weigh yourself down.
Then we'd
Okay.
have. So if we leave anything, we would have to. How? Oh, that would just make life so difficult.
Yeah, I had to carry around like rocks all the
Because
time, like a
either yeah,
boulder.
or we just wear weights and then enough to keep us on the ground so we can live like normal. But then if we ever take said weights off, then we float.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be like that every like stereotypical anime scene where the person like takes off their weights and they're like the giant explosion like in Naruto or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, the Rock
But
Lee scene where he
instead of
drops his
like
leg weights.
yeah, but instead of us like flying or going fast and like doing all these like amazing stunts, it's like all right, it's time to go full force. Woo.
Just float up to the ceiling. Can't catch me now.
Yeah,
Dude, you would
So,
win every game of tag because no one could get you.
yeah, I guess
so what
so.
if instead it was like you were completely unaffected by gravity? It was just like you experience like moon gravity on Earth, but everybody else stays the same. So like you come back down, you're just not. It's just not
Just
as
like,
heavy. Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be fun because I feel like you could get around faster just by like jumping.
Would it also be like just me again? Just not
Yeah,
like
just you.
that's not as fun.
Why?
I would be jumping around everywhere. Like, have you ever seen like those like in Mythbusters or
You would
whatever when
basically be Superman because he jumps, right? He doesn't fly.
he
Like
flies?
well, originally, right? Like the phrase is like leap over, like bound over a tall building or leap over a tall building, or because technically he does just jump really high, but then they kind of are like, that's weird. Let's just have him fly.
What were you gonna say, Josh?
I forget.
Mythbusters,
Have
Mythbusters.
you ever seen like that one Mythbusters episode where like they go on like the rocket ship that they use to like help astronauts get used to zero gravity and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, the airplane that does the parabolic.
Yeah, all that. And they were showing like how naturally you would just want to have to like jump side to side just to get around everywhere. That would look ridiculous if I had to do that
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, I mean,
Like
you
just
could walk normally, but it's just like if you jump, you would just jump higher and kind of float a little bit, but you could still walk.
Does that mean you could just enter like the Olympics for long jumping and just be like,
Yeah, you would just
Yeah.
win. You would just win. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think people will get suspicious when I'm
You
in the
don't think
air
we
for a
would be
little
like
too longer.
Michael Phelps, where they'd just be like, "Oh, he's just naturally gifted."
I
You
would
think
feel like
they'd
it would have
investigate
to
us?
be like how fast I'm moving forward,
Well,
because
you
in
have
my
to.
head you're moving kind of slowly forward, and that's suspicious.
Yeah.
We'd have to practice and do it like Dash, where it's like you have to go fast, but not too fast, where you win like first place. You're able to get
Hmm.
like second, and then maybe eventually be like, "Oh yeah, I'm so good now, I can get first place," type of thing. You can't be obvious about it.
I feel like that would require a very intricate series of weights, though. Like you would have to do the math to like make sure, like Josh was saying, your forward trajectory is still like
I
reasonable
like how
to what
every
Earth's
time you do
gravity
this,
is.
you eventually cut out, and
I
then
don't know. I'm disappearing now. But like you would have to make, because
I agree.
like if you did move slowly, like there would be like physicists watching who'd be like, "That's now how Earth's gravity affects somebody," and then they'd be doing the math and be like, "They're moving at moon gravity. What's going on here?" And like
Yeah,
that'd be
they
bring
like,
would
out a
just
"Oh,
pen.
immediately know it's
yeah."
that's moon
No,
gravity,
I'm saying they would do the math. They do the calculations because they'd know.
and then they just know moon gravity.
Yeah, I
Like,
would
oh,
never
that's
want to use that ability for like to win like an Olympic sport or anything that's like broadcasted to like a large group of people. I would never want to do that because they will
what would
find
you use
out.
it for then? What would you use it for then?
Just getting around.
Rescuing cats from trees?
I don't know, fixing the fire alarms here that are on the ceiling.
Yeah,
Just jump, grab it, turn it, and then just come back down.
yeah. You wouldn't need ladders. You could put up Christmas lights really easy. You just grab the strand and just kind of jump and like hang
Woo.
it around.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, I feel like my life would be
You
like
could have
living
such a
hell.
good business putting up Christmas decorations.
Yeah. What else
Again,
could
I
you
don't want to
use
do
to
anything
capitalize?
to capitalize. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else do you need to like scale? Wait, so you fall down slowly, right? Too, right? Because you're
Uh-huh.
in
Yeah.
gravity. Oh man, I would, I don't know if I would like eventually like lose my fear of like falling, because like the gravity would just be like slowly down. So I could like go to
That's
like the Grand Canyon or
true.
whatever and then just like try to jump across, and if I
Yeah, you
don't
could fall
make
from
it, then I just
farther
fall
heights
down.
without dying.
But
Yeah.
like how far? Like what's the limit to that? To where you're like you can just land and you're like safe, you know?
Well, okay, so Ryan, do you remember what the speed of gravity is on Earth?
9.81 meters per second squared or
Yeah.
something.
So I think it's 9.82, but
So.
moon gravity is 1.62.
Whoa, it's a ninth or like an eighth or a seventh. I don't know. It's a small
It's a math number.
it's a math fraction. As if there's other
What is a
types of
non-math fraction? I
I
want to
don't
know the
know.
answer.
I don't know.
So it's about a sixth.
Okay, I was
But
close.
yeah,
So
that would be
between a
nice. You
sixth and a
just go
seventh.
slowly down. You
So
wouldn't.
that means you could fall from about 6 times the height as you could on Earth and survive.
That'd be pretty
So
cool.
maybe not the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon may still be out of my my
But here's what
jurisdiction.
you
If you
could
jump
do
down, you can
though.
like parkour off the walls.
True, true. I can Mario jump from like one
Yeah.
side to the other.
But here's what you could do is you could still train to properly do the long jump, right? And then you can see if you can see how many canyons you can jump across. Right? Because if you get the right form, like an Olympian would, like you still will maximize your distance, but yours is just 6 times longer than whatever your natural maximum distance is. So you can do even farther, and you can just see how far you can get. You can like jump across rivers. You can like jump across buildings. Dude, parkouring would be so much fun, and
It'd
you
be
would have
so easy.
it'd be easy, and you can just do some crazy stuff, and you'd have so much less like concern if you fall. Because if you miss, you're just like, oh no, and then you just like
Yeah,
Oh
triangle
no.
jump your way back
like
up.
it, having like moon gravity, it would be so much more fun.
Yeah.
Again, though, I would never want to do something where like I would grab a lot of people's attentions, because then everyone would be like, "Why is this happening? How is he able to do this?" And then
Well,
I'm
yeah,
become
you go at
I
nighttime like Batman. You
I
just
am the night.
yeah,
You
I'm
can.
the night, and you just jump across buildings.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
Every time you speak, your words come out as song lyrics, and people around you start acting like they're in a musical. How do you go
I
about your day?
would love that.
I feel like I
Love
already
that.
sing a lot of song lyrics in my
Same.
daily life
Yeah, but
anyway.
then everyone goes into the whole musical number with you.
That'd be
Wait,
pretty
is it
fun.
just singing or do they go into the dance too? Because that'd be my
I
cherry
mean,
on
it says
top.
everybody starts acting like they're in a musical. So in a musical, there's dancing. So
I would love life would be so much more
I
I
just
entertaining.
feel
would,
like that would get old after a while though. Like I feel like that'd be cool for like a
you're like, I
couple
just want to have
days.
a conversation.
Yeah, like maybe a week that would be fun, but then after that it's gonna get so old and you'd be like, I just need to talk to Stacy about freaking post-it notes.
I just want
And
to talk
like
to Stacy about her
you
mom.
can't because it becomes a 5 minute show. And then who knows if you even get your post-it notes? Like I
It
just
doesn't
feel
have
It,
to
like it's
be
just
a 5 minute show. There's deep, like, one-on-one moments in a musical.
I would like it if you're like going to Stacy or whatever for post-it notes or whatever, and the music is always like to whatever she's feeling or whatever, and all of a sudden it just goes into burlesque number. She's like da, 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 and then just like putting sticky notes like on one side, and then just taking them off little by little. Again, in my
that'd be
head,
funny.
it'd be entertaining as hell. Sure, it'd
Yeah.
probably get old soon, but at the same time, be like, wow, this is this is great. I love it.
I think it'll be fun, but I think it'll get old, and then you won't be able to have any like I know you can have like serious moments in musicals, but I feel like it kind of undercuts the seriousness when they're singing and dancing. You know?
I don't know.
I don't know. There's so much emotion in music. I think it'll
Yeah,
be
I'll
okay.
give you a nice ballad, tell you how much I really feel.
Hmm,
Like it in my head, there's no downside besides it getting old. I can actually tell like how serious you're taking something by how the song is going. That'd be great because I miss a lot of social cues because of that.
I
that's
can
fair.
finally understand the world.
That's fair.
Yeah, like I'm in the middle of a conversation with someone and I don't understand that they're angry with me, and then all of a sudden it goes like and it just goes to like heavy metal or whatever. I'm just like, oh
They
okay,
start
he's pissed
screaming in
off.
the song, and you're like, oh, okay.
Well, I
Tell me how
guess
you
he's
really
angry.
feel.
That's funny.
I think
All
that one
right.
would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, number three. You find out that every mirror reflects an alternate version of you living in a parallel universe. But
Hmm.
in that universe, you made one drastically different life choice. Um, and then so the question is, how does this version of you differ, and what do you talk about with? Because you can talk to the person on the other side of that mirror.
How does this version differ? I don't know. It depends on which drastic,
So
significant choice I made that's
yeah, I
different.
forgot. I wanted to change that prompt a little bit because I used ChatGPT to help me.
Yeah,
Um,
Ian didn't come up with this stuff. I came up with my scenarios. I just want to make that
I
clear.
I workshopped it with him, but I forgot I didn't ask him to change the.
Him?
I'm giving him pronouns.
You're personifying ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Belinda with a G.
Um, but I was gonna ask like what. I guess I was gonna take this in a different way, and it's not like a crazy scenario, but like, what do you think is maybe a point in your life where you could have made a very different decision that would have led you to an alternate universe? Like, where do you think? What do they call it in like the MCU or stuff? Like, what are your like branch off
Oh,
points
like
or
the
whatever?
anchor point or something like
Not the
that?
anchor point,
No,
but
what's
like
it
the
called? Yeah.
like where branches are formed, like the.
Yeah. Like it's man, now I need you to look that up because that's gonna bother me.
But now, okay, so a point in my life where I feel like it would have branched off into something else. Not to get like too deep or whatever, but maybe like if like I had came out and no one was like really accepting of me,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my life would be a lot more miserable and I would like be like in a world where I'm probably like, you know, just with a woman for the sake of being a woman.
Mm.
I'm bisexual and all that stuff, but like I wouldn't I would live my life thinking of like wanting to be with a man and not feeling like being able to explore that and just be in like my own little torture chamber for that. I feel
Sure.
like that would be a big pinnacle moment if like no one accepted me for who I was and all that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's somewhat serious answer.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like my answer is kind of serious, but the first thing that came to my mind is like being more adventurous in my youth, and the first thing I think of is like going to a college that was far enough away to where like I would have had to dorm and like been on my own, because like we lived with auntie and we were close enough to home where we went home every weekend. And so I've thought about before, like, what if I did go, like, away to college? What
Yeah.
if I was, like, brave enough? Because I wasn't, is the reality. Like, I didn't wanna be far from home because I wasn't in a place where I felt comfortable doing that. But what if I did? What if I went to Long Beach, or what if I went to Sonoma, or what if I went out of state? Because I didn't even apply anywhere out of state. What if I went to Washington or Portland, or what if I went to Massachusetts? Like, what if I went somewhere else for school to where I was away and was had to live on my own? I think that would have drastically changed the direction of my life. I don't know if for better or for worse. I can't speak to that, but I think that that would be a decision that would have drastically changed my life.
Yeah. What about you, babe?
Say the first thing I'd probably want to go back and change is not getting my nasal surgery in
Mm,
2013 after
mhm,
high school. I feel like, all the doctors and everybody told me that I was breathing just terribly because of an x-ray and everything and what they saw. But, at the time I was playing sports, I was in marching band, I was playing an instrument, you have to breathe for all those things and I was doing just fine. And I feel like ever since then I've just had so many like health problems and like
mm,
problems breathing and stuff like that that I feel like either it was a mistake in doing the surgery or it was a mistake in the doctor that I chose or whatever, but I feel like
mm.
that's definitely one of the points where I'm like I wish I could go back and like change it. Um yeah. And
Yeah.
also probably like coming out earlier or something like that, but
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah. Good answers. Good
Those are
answers.
good ones. Yeah.
do you guys have
Yeah.
any more fun type of answers or is that just a serious question?
I mean, I've always thought it would be cool to be in a band, play in a band. I think, I mean, it's not like I like know anybody really that does that, and that has ever really been an option for me. But if it was, like being a musician as a living, I think be a really cool lifestyle that I think would have changed my life. Obviously.
I used to do like what are they called? Like non-profit like musical theater at like your local places or whatever. I did
Yeah.
I did not Little Shop of Horrors. Wow. It's like a cult classic. Uh
Rocky
Rocky
Horror.
Horror Picture
Rocky Horror,
Show.
thank you. It was escaping my mind. But I did Rocky Horror Picture Show and I was the transvestite man for
It's
a
cool.
little bit. And like that'd be fun if like I decided to keep going and doing
Why
all
did
that
you
musical
stop?
theater stuff.
I mean, you could.
It wasn't for me.
Mm,
I felt like that was exploring a part of my life that I wasn't too like open to do at the time.
mm-hmm.
Because to be in musical theater, you have to be very like not necessarily outgoing, but you have to like put on like an outgoing personality.
Sure.
And for me at the time, like I was willing to do it for that little bit, but I didn't want to continuously do that because I felt like that was going to be very draining.
Yeah.
And in my head now, I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, it would have been draining, but it also could have been really, really fun. And that was just something that I just didn't continue doing.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say the
I
other. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no,
Nope,
you
you
can
go.
do your
You go.
second.
You
No,
go.
no, no,
You go.
no. Oh,
You
I
go.
was just gonna say, like, I feel like there's a lot of like little stuff like that for me of just like, and like it was because I had anxiety and because I was depressed for years. But I feel like,
Same.
if I had been like in a better headspace, I feel like there are a lot of things that I could have done and maybe should have done earlier that would have maybe changed the direction of things.
Absolutely. I feel that
Yeah,
on a spiritual
a
level.
100%. Like I wish anxiety wasn't such a big factor in everything
Yeah.
since like high school, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Cause like I was even talking to like my trainer and stuff, and I'm like, I wish I even knew more about just like weights in the gym before like now, like before it always seemed so like scary and like intimidating.
Yeah.
Um, but and like we had the whole brick at Cal Poly and stuff like that. Like it would have been cool to utilize and stuff like that. But uh,
I did go to the brick, like, not all the time, but like I went a good bit and it was cool. Like it
but
was nice that it was there.
it would have been cool to learn in. more about in high school, or like even like watching the Olympics and stuff, and like seeing really all like the track and field events and stuff. And like I don't like track, but like just throwing stuff like the shot put and stuff like that, like that probably would have been fun. Like I could have seen
Yeah.
myself doing something like that, but I never really
Mhm.
knew that those things were even there until, you know. Like I knew about pole vaulting and maybe that stuff, but I was just like I could have seen that and I think that would have changed stuff like a lot. But
Mhm.
yeah, so just small stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what life is, right? It's a bunch of small moments and small decisions that define where you go and where you end up.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And then you just gotta live with how you are because you can't change the past. So gotta look forward to the future.
Yes, sir.
Yep. You suddenly have the ability to see people's thoughts as subtitles above their heads, but only when they're thinking about you.
I don't want it.
How does this change how you interact with people?
I don't want it. I don't Can I get rid of that power? I'm not someone who I want to know what other people's thoughts are in general. I just feel like that's too much information. I feel like that would like drastically change how I am and how I interact with people if I know what they're thinking, especially if it's what they're thinking about me. I would become so like cognizant of that and like probably like fuel anxiety of like, oh, this person doesn't like me or this person and I just feel like it'd be too influential on my actions and how I act and I just don't want that.
Especially since, like, a lot of the times, like, if a person's like thinking about you randomly, like while you're talking to them, like that's just a moment that they're thinking about you, and it could
Right.
be in like not so like positive view, but that doesn't mean like they think of you like as a bad person or whatever. They just think, oh man, this guy has been talking for a really long time. I
Right.
really need to go to the bathroom.
Right. I just think it would make me too self-conscious. And I think anybody, because I can feel people's criticism to that, being like, oh, well, if you just had more self-esteem, it wouldn't be a problem. I think
Oh,
that no matter who you are, even if you feel like you have all the confidence in the world, like if you could constantly see what everyone's thinking about you, that's going to make you so self-conscious all the time. And I just don't think that
Yeah,
that's
but
healthy.
you could see what everybody's thinking about you, but I mean, you have to be paying attention to it, and you have to be like actively reading it. It's not like you just know
Yeah,
what
but I think I
everybody's thinking
would be.
about
I
you.
think if I knew I could do that, I would
You think
be
you'd be like
looking
looking
for it.
around everywhere, saying like,
I
"Who's talking
do.
about Ryan?"
Yeah, yeah,
now,
and
now,
it'd be unconscious to an extent, it'd be, like, habitual almost,
I think the
but,
biggest
like
problem it would cause is with like family members or your partner, like just
yeah,
being like especially like after an argument or anything, and just constantly looking like,
mhm,
are you thinking about me? Or like, what do you think?
yeah,
Like,
I just don't like it.
that being said, here's a flip side to it that
Flip me.
I will. What if like you see other people's thoughts of you, but say like they're in a different like they're speaking to you in a different language, but you read the subtitles in English or whatever. And it's like, oh, I can finally understand them. It's like a weird like sub in anime where you're just like reading
But I
what
feel
they're
like that's
thinking.
so limited. Like that doesn't make it easier for me to communicate with that person. That would just be like, oh, I'm talking to someone in a different language, and the subtitle says, I don't understand what this person is saying. And like, I already know you don't understand what I'm saying because we're not speaking the same language. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I
I
don't
hear you.
think that helps me at all. I
I
think
hear
that's a
you.
good
I'm
premise,
just saying,
though. I
like,
think
it
it's
would be a
interesting.
nice, like, little sub part to it.
I
It's
mean,
like,
it'd
oh, I
also
can
be
actually
nice
understand them.
for times when people are like, oh, this person seems cool. Like, I wish I knew how to talk to them about this or whatever. Like, I definitely think there'd be like good moments, but it would cause a lot of anxiety.
Listen, in like the gay side of it all, the
Oh,
side of it all, it'd be so nice to be like, oh, this person
oh, he's
it
into
thinks
me.
he's into me. Yeah, like he's thinking of me. He thinks I'm cute or whatever. It's like, okay, cool. This is someone I can pursue. It's not
I
just a
mean, I
random
think that'd be
straight.
nice for anybody. I would appreciate that aspect of it to know,
Oh,
like,
that
oh,
girl
that
just
girl's
checked me out.
interested. Yeah, but like to me, I don't know. I don't think that that would be enough of a reason for me to want that ability.
No,
I
absolutely
would
not.
still just be like, can I trade this for flight or something
No.
like
No, absolutely,
invisibility?
but there are little niche things in there
Yes,
that are nice.
I
Overall,
acknowledge that.
probably just be like what you're saying, like just anxiety inducing. Like, I don't need to hear what they're thinking about
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Okay, next question.
pass.
You discover you can switch places with any fictional character for a day. Who do you choose, and what do you do in their world?
Like a day in our world, a day in their
In
world. How
their
does that
world,
work?
you get to go into their world and switch places with them.
That's a tough one.
So like, if you want to be Timmy Turner, you now have Vicky as a babysitter, and you have two fairy godparents.
Can I use the wishes in that world to affect me in my world?
No,
Oh.
you're like, I don't want it anymore.
Trying to loophole it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Um, my initial answer is super One Piece spoiler, so I'm not gonna use that answer.
I generally don't know like any fictional character that I immediately think of. Like I don't know. It'd probably be like a
Do you want to move on to the next
cartoon.
question?
I'm fine with it. There's no one I can really think of that I would want to be in their world, part of their world.
Part of you know
Wait,
what? I'm gonna pick like I'm thinking Star Wars and I'm thinking which Star Wars just so I could be a Jedi and know what it's like to use the Force.
yeah, there's not even like a character you just want to experience being for a day, babe.
I'll be Meg from Hercules. Like I just want
You
to.
don't want to experience being Hercules. You want to be Meg
Or like Hades.
Yeah.
or Hades. Yeah.
No, no, I don't care. Okay, I just want to be
You could you could
a
be
Be a
Hades
hot
for a
fruity
day.
head.
You could be Hades for a day and like release everybody from hell, but you're like, no, I just want to be a hot girl in
Why
ancient
is your
Greece.
thought to release hell?
Yeah, that's concerning, Ian.
Why is your thought to release hell? I
I
just
feel
want to
like
be
that'd be
pretty.
he just wants to be a hot babe for a day. That's it.
Yeah, and we need no man whatsoever, you know? I'm a damsel, I'm in distress, but I got this.
Yeah.
But you kind of do
I'm
need
gonna
a man.
I mean, she did ultimately need Hercules to save her from the river Styx.
Listen, whatever. I'll
She
be
really
Meg.
did.
I won't be Hades releasing
If
hell.
you want to be a woman that
I
don't
feel like
need
there
no
are other
man,
options
you could be
than those two
Mulan.
options. You could be blonde.
Could be Mulan, and I want to be Meg. That is my answer. I don't know why this is
I
a
want to
right
be
or wrong.
Stitch.
You
That's a
want
good
to be
one.
Or
Stitch?
Kirby. I just want to swallow things and take their power.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Hey,
choose Revan so I could be one of the most powerful Jedi that ever existed,
there you
and
go.
just know what that's
What
like.
would you do with that?
An alien, a powerful Jedi, a woman.
A
We
hot
all have our
girl.
fantasies. What would I do? I don't know. Is this before or after the events of Knights of the Old Republic?
When do you want to be
Yes.
Revan?
Afterwards, because then I can be a war hero and I could like have a beautiful girlfriend and be super powerful and accept it, and then just kind of go explore with my friends. That sounds like fun for a
Okay.
day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Next
true.
question.
Yeah.
You wake up to find that every time you touch an object, it changes color permanently. How would you use this in your everyday life, and what creative or practical uses would you find for this?
Dude, you could repaint your walls so easily.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly what
just
I was thinking too. It's like it'd be the easiest paint job in the
Your
world.
sister
you could
needs to paint her house. You'd just be like, I
Yeah.
got you,
Boop.
sis. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
you could
But
buy
okay,
and
but you
like
don't get to
any
choose the color. It's random.
yeah,
So
you
you
just keep
just
tapping it until you're
oh my
happy.
god, there's so many colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but
That's fun.
also with clothing, right? Like you just buy a bunch of cheap blue jeans and then you just keep changing color until you're happy with it.
Yeah.
Or buy like white T-shirts everywhere and just bloop,
Yeah,
bloop,
and
bloop.
just boop 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 boop, and you're like, ah, I want to be purple today. Purple.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Practically it's just nice to be able to change colors without really thinking of it.
Question:
You get in a car
if you wear
chase, you tap
gloves,
the outside of your car, and you're like, you're not chasing a red car anymore.
if you put gloves on, does that mitigate it? Does that stop it, or
Your
whatever you
gloves just
touch?
spam changing colors.
That would epileptic.
It's just
uh,
iridescent.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
let's say you have gloves that inhibit your powers. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's
that's
fine.
fine. Just because
Yeah,
then
that's
you can
fine.
use it when you want to, and you don't have to change
Yeah,
every.
But
it would suck
anytime
for a
somebody
person.
else touches your skin, they change color.
Oh, you change
That
people color too? That's
yeah.
hilarious. That would be hard.
Oh, it says an object, so no, you're fine.
Oh, okay, so we're good. We're good.
Are you
That's fine.
objectifying people,
No,
Ian?
I forgot it. I said object.
Okay,
I
well then,
reread the
yeah, that's fine.
prompt.
Fine. You just gotta be careful, but I think that would be fun. That's harmless, you know?
Yeah, to an
What
extent,
would you
right?
what would be your most creative use?
I would just change the color of stuff just because I could. I'd be like, "Ah, my desk is black. I don't really want it to be black today," and just boop, 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 and just change
I
the
feel
color of
like
stuff.
if I was like in a situation like I fell into like a deserted island, I could just make things really colorful to make it very like, oh, you'll notice this thing out of nowhere. I'd be
Bright
I was
great in
heads.
Survivor.
I was going a similar vein, but not quite so desperate, and just like going outside and changing the color of the foliage of like trees and stuff, just so it'd be cool and colorful and make the world a little more whimsical.
Yeah, make everything cherry blossom.
Yeah. What about you, Ian?
um, yes.
Okay,
All
good.
right.
Good contribution. On to the next.
No,
Would you just make everything you own green?
not everything. I mean,
Some things would
also,
be gold.
I don't get
Few
to choose the
reds.
color, so I think I'd get annoyed at how many taps some things would take to get green.
Yeah, out of all of us, you'd probably be the one who gets annoyed the fastest
I'd be
of
like,
that.
Yeah.
no, I just want one color. Why is this taking so long?
Can you
And it's
do
just
like
like shiny hunting where you're on autopilot.
Yeah,
yeah,
and then I pass it. Oh my
yeah,
god.
and then you never go back. It's over. You throw the thing away.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just buy it in green.
And then when you throw it in the trash, it turns the right color. It's like now I can't grab it because then it's gonna change again.
No, put your glove on. Done.
But yeah, and probably my most fun thing. I don't know. I think I just walk down the street and touch things. Cause I mean I do that anyway. Like I'll do this
Mhm.
to like the bushes or whatever or the fence or whatever.
Fences? Yeah, you have
I
to.
would
You
just
have to.
like drag my hand around and create like colored,
That'd be cool.
just color the world.
Yeah. Just
Other
like
than
the
people
giver
would
or whatever.
that would really drag attention to me. But
Probably.
unlike Josh, I don't really care.
Mm. Right. Nice
Um,
mom.
so you find a button that, when pressed, will change one random fact about the world's history. Do you press it?
Nope.
Yes,
Why?
chaos.
That's fair. I don't
Now,
want to because I
that
don't.
being said, there is a lot of things that can go wrong
Yeah.
with
Uh
that.
huh.
I pushed the button, all suddenly Hitler won.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. 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 I don't see what like what positive would come out of that. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Hitler got into art school.
Mm, maybe.
Yeah, it's one random thing, and there's so many. How soon after pressing the button would I know what changed in history?
Yeah, is there like a news scroll that goes across the screen and says history
Or
changed?
or is it just like randomly, like going back to my Hitler thing? Like I just go outside and I just see a bunch of Nazi flags.
I
I'm like,
think you'd
oh,
have to
Hitler
wait.
won.
I think you'd have to wait for the time ripple, and then yeah, you'd notice that something changed.
Would I? Oh, you said notice, but would I
I think
know?
you would be the only one that knows something changed. Everyone else would just know that as the history.
Oh, so it wouldn't be like randomly like I have a memory of like learning this in history class or whatever.
You would,
Okay, okay, that'd
Yeah,
be
I
but
don't.
you
I
would
don't
excuse.
need
also
to
know
press
that
the
you
button.
caused that.
It's fine. I can live with that.
I don't need to press the button.
I can live
I'm
with
okay.
that. Okay. Um, you start receiving letters from your future self giving you advice about small everyday decisions. How do
Hmm.
you respond? And do you always follow the advice?
How do I know for sure this is from my future self and I'm not being trolled?
I mean, I feel like if AI was sending something to my past self, I
You would
would be like,
probably mark it somehow that you know
yeah,
it's you.
this is happening in front of you in like this amount in this time frame. This would
Mm,
happen. It'd be super specific where like there's no way it couldn't be me from the future or someone from the future telling me this.
right. I
Now,
don't
how I
know.
will respond to it to like a
Hmm.
letter back to them, they can read back. What'd you say?
I mean, I
Or
don't
just
think you
how would
respond
you
by that, but I think you respond by like they would know because they're you in the
like
future,
how
right?
would you react? I guess is what they're saying. But here's the thing, because now we're getting into time paradoxes, right? Because if you don't do what they tell you you should do, or
Mm.
if you do and they're telling you something that they didn't do, like if they're telling you to make a decision opposite of what they had made, then by you making that different decision, then they don't exist anymore, which means they never sent the letter back to you. Because that future never happens because you make a different
Okay,
choice.
time paradoxes, we're ignoring them right now.
But that's the whole thing. This is why time is tricky. When you're trying to write movies and stuff with time, it's so convoluted.
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand.
I don't know. I guess it
Would
depends
I
on what the
always
decisions
heed the
are and what
advice?
they're
Yeah, would
being,
you
what
follow
they're.
your own advice? Do you trust future you to lead you in the right direction?
No.
I hope
Like,
so, but I guess it
You
depends on
think
if it's a
future Josh
direction
would
I
just
want to
send
go.
letters to past Josh to mess with him?
Josh just
no,
wanted to
no,
play
not
with
at all.
history just for the sake of screwing up history.
Okay,
And now he's just
alright.
doing it with himself.
No,
Yeah.
it's not even that. I'm thinking through a very, like, technical standpoint. It's like, I could tell myself to, like, not do a specific thing because I think in the future that caused me to, like, go down a certain path. Some things could be very obvious, but there I would feel like a majority of things would not be obvious. Like, don't do this one thing, and you'll live your best life. And I don't do that thing, and I still live this shitty life or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know like what exactly is the cause
So do
of a
you not,
problem.
I guess that
believe
is
in?
assuming that your future self is wiser than you are.
I mean,
You know what
I
I mean?
would bet that future self knows better than current self. And also, I mean, they always say hindsight 2020, right? Like,
Hindsight 2020.
most of us can make better decisions about the past now than we would have made in the present due to like current anxieties or whatever, right? So sometimes
Yeah.
just not being in the current situation, you can think more rationally. Um, I mean, I think I would take it definitely, like, I would put a lot of weight in it for sure.
Hmm.
But I don't know if I would just always listen to it. But I think if I didn't do it, I would also feel very like anxious about if I just screwed everything up.
Well, here's the thing. If
Mm.
if I was like telling myself in the past specifically something bad happening, like depending on how severe it is, I would consider it more. Like, hey, you're gonna die if you go this way. I don't know why my future self is telling me that because he probably be dead. But it's like you're gonna be in a car accident or whatever, and you're gonna become like a paraplegic or whatever. Like, just don't do it. Then I definitely consider it more and be like, okay, maybe there's something that's ominous.
I
I'd
mean, I
rather
feel like
not
if
take the
it's an
risk.
extreme warning like that, I would take it just because, like, why would I
Yeah,
risk that being incorrect?
better to be
But
safe than
that's why I
sorry
was,
in that point.
yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, I guess it depends on what the advice is and what the
Well,
situation
okay,
is.
to be fair, it says giving you about advice about small everyday decisions.
But that
It's
ultimately
whatever.
have like a significant impact, I would imagine.
I mean, they have some impact.
It's just like don't go to Chipotle. You're gonna get the runs.
Yeah, you're gonna get food poisoning.
Well, I mean, in that case, I'd be like, all right, then I'm not gonna go to Chipotle then. Like, I don't. That sounds like
Yeah,
a
it's
not fun.
small enough where I'm like, okay, if it's that big, if it seems like something that would annoy me, I'd be like, yeah, sure, well, I'll heed my own advice.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
know.
let's move
Hmm,
on.
okay,
You
I'm
wake up one
satisfied.
morning with the power to turn any lie you hear into the truth. How do you use this power, and what unintended consequences might arise?
It's all of the unintended consequences, like turning
Lies
a
that I
lie
hear.
you hear into truth. So, like, if you tell me the sky is green, I can make the sky green.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
And
would use that to my advantage, I feel.
So
what?
if you tell me, like, if you're like Ryan, you don't have $1 million, then I can just give myself $1 million.
Exactly. Just be like, that's not true. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, money.
And it says you can, right? Which means you don't have to.
uh,
You can
you have the
pick and
power to turn any. Yeah. So
so
I
you
mean,
can
you.
pick and choose what you want to. I feel like that could be advantageous.
I
What do
mean,
you
sure,
think
yeah.
are unintended consequences of that power?
I don't know if this is like a monkey paw situation where like
Yeah.
how does the money come to you and all that stuff.
Well,
Oh
use
yeah,
your uh, true.
yeah.
Yeah. How does Ryan have $1 million? Well, he
He
stole a he robbed a bank.
Yeah, no, he
Uh,
didn't. My new truth. No, he
it's
didn't.
like genie wishes. Like it could
but
just
like,
be.
what if you took your turning the sky green approach, or like example? Like, what would be an unintended consequence of that?
I mean, the fact is I think we would like see everything differently. Like if the
It's
sky
true.
was green, I think it would affect the way we view color
It's also blue because of the light that's reflected off of like
of the
other
nitrogen
stuff, right?
molecules in the air. Yeah,
So
it's
that would
because
mean
of
different
how
light is making it down to Earth and
right.
oh my
And
god.
so I think we would see things differently.
But
I don't
also
know if that's true or
different
not.
different types of light would be hitting our skin and stuff, so that might be, more cancerous or whatever.
That's true
Um,
because green wavelength I think is more energetic than blue. I could be wrong.
It'd be one of those
Reggie
weird
Viv,
things.
Reggie Viv, which
Oh,
It'd be
so
one of those weird
G is
things with
before,
like
so it's a little bit less energetic than blue.
so it's less harmful, right?
Yeah, because like radio waves like are infrared or like on that end of the spectrum below visible light, and those aren't very harmful. Whereas gamma radiation is in the like past ultraviolet, which is
So if the
very
sky was
harmful.
green,
So
it'd actually be better for like our skin and stuff.
possibly, yeah, that could be an unintended side effect is that like, people get sunburns less.
That'd be interesting. What were you gonna say, Josh?
I say like it'd be one of those weird things with like rumors and stuff like that, where like
Mm.
I don't know why I thought of this where like everyone was talking about like, oh, Michael Jackson ain't actually dead. He just lives on his little theme park that he did. And then I'll suddenly like I hear that and I personally be like, yeah, that could be true.
Josh is like, I heard that's true, and then all of a sudden we get a news story that Michael Jackson's still alive.
Yeah, like
Mm.
he actually has been alive all this time. That'd be crazy. A lot of dead people can come back to life.
That would be weird. I think that would like make things so complicated.
It would.
I think that
Aliens
there are a
being
lot of
100% true.
I think that there's a lot of unintended
Aliens are
consequences
real.
we wouldn't even know about until it happens.
Yeah.
Okay, last question.
Mm.
You were given the power to instantly learn any skill, but it comes at the cost of losing an existing skill in return. What is a skill that you would want to gain, and what is a skill that you are willing to lose?
Do I
I
get
would
like a printout of my current skills,
oh
like
here
itemized for me?
yeah, I mean I would want to learn and understand how to read and write every language, and I would lose my skill to whistle.
What if each language was considered its own skill?
God, I don't want to lose so many skills. That's a
So,
lot
So
of
which one would
languages.
you
which
choose?
language
Would
would
you
you want to
choose one
choose?
or would you pick a different skill?
If it's just one language,
Which one are you trading for whistling?
I feel like the answer for me is gonna be Japanese. Like I just want to know Japanese. I would lose whistling for Japanese. That's fine.
Yeah, I'd
I
want to
feel
learn
like
like Japanese or Spanish.
yeah.
I'll take both.
What are you trading?
Yeah, what two things are you trading? You already don't know how to whistle.
Ex-
Wow, yeah, so you can't even trade that. That's an easy one.
That's a useless skill.
But it's a skill.
I can pick things up with my toes. I'll lose my toe dexterity. That's a
Okay.
skill.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah,
Give
I'll
it
give
to
it to
you.
you.
I
I'll
can't
give
see
it
a.
to
I
you.
don't know a lot of people who can like pick up and like do a lot of things with their feet. Okay.
He starts
Okay.
playing a masterful piece on a piano with his
I
toes.
know. Yeah.
And then I'd be like, all right, you got it. You got
Playing
it. That's a
Beethoven or
dexterity.
just yeah, okay, yeah, we'll give it to you. We're allowing it.
What about you, Ryan?
I would probably give up whistling to play piano, oddly enough. That's what I was thinking. Because I think it'd be really cool to like be able to like play piano really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Piano is one of those definitely one of those things where like Like, if you really know what you're doing, it's like the most amazing thing in the world to be
What?
that
Yeah,
good.
I just think it'd be so cool to just like, sit down somewhere, you see a piano in public, sit down at like a piano bar or whatever and just start like playing something cool and getting everyone excited and like people or like you're at a party and you're like, "Oh, there's a piano there." And you just play a little ditty. Like people love that. That's like the coolest thing you could do.
What's another skill you'd like to gain?
I would like to speak another language too. I think that would be cool and I
Okay,
would
let's
give up.
let's do something different.
I
Okay.
would like a skill for a skill, so I can't just be like, "Oh, my new skill is I can breathe underwater or whatever," because that's not realistic.
Yeah, that's a superpower, not a skill.
I mean,
That's fine.
yeah. Unless you want to trade breathing air, I guess.
I still don't
I
think that's a
I would
skill.
I would like to like have like the skill of gymnastics, just like be like flexible and being able to do a bunch of like gymnastic stuff. I feel like that's just be pretty cool to have in
That would
general.
be cool.
Yeah.
Now, what skill I would get rid of for that? I don't know. What's another useless skill that I can live without?
Okay, let what if you had to trade a useful skill? Let's put some risk on it.
God,
Mm,
what are my useful skills? What would you consider a useful skill?
yeah.
Like typing
Whistling.
skills?
Sure.
You have to hunt and peck for the rest of your life, and it just takes forever to type anything out.
Yeah, instead of being like the fastest person typing at work, you're slow.
Ah, God,
It takes you
You're
forever to
like
do your
you're
job.
like what G uh
yeah.
oh
In this world, that's too much of a practical skill to have.
the necessity at this point, I feel like.
Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of that. I need that to survive,
Hmm.
unless I become a really good gymnast.
What is a useful skill?
Communication.
Like do any of us have those? Because I was thinking sport would be cool, but I also just thought like cooking. Like I would love to be like an
Mm,
amazing chef, like a
That's a
same.
world
good
class
one. That's
chef,
a good one.
like a
Yeah.
world
That's a
class
good one.
chef. But what would I give up for it?
Your skill to make people laugh. I don't know.
No, that's too good though. I love making people laugh. Cause I thought of that too, but I also thought of like writing, but I also like writing. Like I like the skills. I don't have a lot of skills, and I like the ones that I do have. Like I don't know what I would trade to be a good cook. Maybe I was gonna say maybe I would trade like drumming, but then I feel like that might be a sad world if I don't music. I don't really music now because I don't have any instruments. So maybe I do. Maybe I trade drumming. Maybe I trade drumming to be a world class chef. Maybe
Yeah.
Maybe I just have no rhythm, so I can't even dance. I have like no rhythm. I think that would suck. I don't know if I
I
would be
got
happy
no
with that.
rhythm.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
like
I would
that.
be
Yeah.
happy with that in the long run, but if we're playing, high risk, high reward, then I would give up my sense of rhythm for world class cooking capabilities
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice.
and knowledge, because you need the knowledge too.
Sure, 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 sure. What about
All
you?
right, now you guys need high risk, high reward.
I mean, I definitely want cooking, but I'll do something. I'll try to think of something different.
I think I think the skill of like what would it be like carpentry or whatever? Just like be really good making
Oh,
anything or
that's a
anything.
good one.
Be like Frankie from One Piece, and you could build a staircase out of scrap
Yeah,
woods, and it
yeah. I
looks
feel like
amazing.
that'd be
Yeah,
a great skill to have in just
yeah,
life in general.
I
Mhm.
agree.
What I would get rid of for that, what's a good practical skill that
What's a skill you have that you really like about yourself? Like, what's something that you kind of prized about yourself? What's a skill you have that oh, you could do your gift of gab.
you have a good gift of gab. I do.
And
No,
you're just like a really awkward communicator, but you can make like the most amazing things anyone's ever seen.
Yeah. No, as much as I rag about it, I do like talking to people about their lives.
So what would you give? It's got to be something good. It's got to be something that like you don't want to give up, but you're willing to for this gift of craftsmanship.
It's a tough one. Like
I
you, like
know.
there's too many things that I like. I like that about
I
me though.
know. I know. But that's the name of the game. You gotta give up something good to get something better.
At that point, if I have no typing skill, I'll get rid of or no typing skill, but I have good carpentry. I think I'd be fine with that because I can live off of carpentry.
Hmm. Then I wanna give up my typing skill too.
No, you stop.
Feel like mine was a little
Don't
more
give up a typing skill.
And then what would you give
I
up?
feel like you're just trying to give up the easy stuff.
It's not easy though. It's like a very useful skill.
Yeah, but you're trying to find a way of like, I'm gonna give up this skill that I won't need anymore.
Yeah, because I'm exchanging it. A
Alright,
skill
I
for a
feel
what are
like that
you
skill.
subverts the whole point
what's your
of
high risk,
No.
high reward, Ian?
it.
Josh has a medium risk, high reward. Do you have a high risk, high reward?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a skill to give up. I don't know what skills I have.
Programming.
Wasn't sure if I'd want to give up my career skill
Yeah.
just because I wasn't sure if that would also be like considered an easy out. Because if
I
so, I
mean, I would
probably
say you're a
would.
skilled programmer, so that would be, and again, that would be high risk because it's something that you're really good at and that is, obviously very beneficial for you.
But I think something I would want to be good at is like public speaking or something. So I'd
Mm,
I'd give up my skill of programming to be good at public speaking.
really? So you would have to find a whole new career. What would you do with that then?
Become a
Probably
politician.
yeah, probably just get into politics with my public speaking.
Hey, there you go. That could work.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like Josh, I'll just trade one career for another.
Yeah, that's what you do. You adapt to the
Yeah, it just
situation.
seems like an easy out is all.
No. You're exchanging skill for skill. You adapt to your new skill to benefit your life.
Sure.
You're
Well, then I
saying
don't want to
that
give up
I'm just
music because that's a hobby. So then can I give up
Oh,
like
here, I'll give up my ability to play League of Legends so for public speaking.
it's not really high risk at all.
yeah, that's better for you in the long run. That's your goal
Yeah.
anyways, to
Your
stop playing
mental
that game.
health will be
Yeah,
better.
Yeah,
that's
but
just a
well,
win-win for you.
Ryan said hobby, so I was like, wait, I'll give up my hobby.
Yeah, but music enriches your life. League only is a detriment to society.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have, folks.
Hmm,
Do you want to keep
okay.
going?
No, I just feel like I was the true high risk, high reward, and you guys found cheap ways out, but that's
I mean,
fine.
I gave a real
Cheap
one,
way.
and
I'm
then
giving up my love of music. You're giving up something you should give up anyway.
I mean, I gave a real one at first, and then I was like, oh
And then you
wait,
changed it.
I'll stick with the first one.
Whatever. Let's
AOC
see the
plays
score
League
anyway.
2. We'll play together. We'll be the congressmen in bronze or whatever.
Congress people.
I mean, congressmen is usually for, you know, when it consists of both, it's usually the male
Yeah,
term,
but we're
right?
trying
Like
to
in
change that
Spanish.
and be more inclusive in our vernacular,
I
Ian.
guess so. Do they do that in Spanish too? Or is that where the X comes in? Like
X
Latin
comes.
X?
Yeah, because they in Spanish it's very like masculine, feminine things, but then they brought in X with a lot of things. I forget what
Is
they
that a
call it.
Which
formal thing in Spanish?
I've heard some
Yeah,
people don't like that. Some of my friends say that they don't like the X.
I think the X is just weird because everybody's used to things ending in a vowel.
Well,
yeah.
and the language itself is just gendered, like good or bad, that's
Yeah.
the way it is. And like all the words are gendered. So is all words just gonna ultimately end in X so that it's not gendered anymore? Like,
It's that's a whole different
yeah.
And
conversation.
if
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
if we're just gonna remove the concept of gender, why not have everything just end in like an O or A to begin with instead of gendering everything?
Yeah, but now you have to change a whole dialect.
Well, yeah,
Well,
that's
they're
what I was
doing
gonna
that
say. Well,
anyway.
the whole language. You would have to restructure the entire language.
True, but they're gonna do that anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Maybe.
it for um this week's episode of the King of the Bean. I hope you enjoyed Ian's interesting experiences. I guess is what we're calling it. I don't know. Check the
Sure.
title. And Well, we'll see you guys next week when hopefully we have definitely better ideas and stuff.
What do you mean? That was a great idea.
Was it? Did you guys enjoy
I
it?
enjoyed it.
I had
Yeah, I
fun,
Oh,
enjoyed
yeah.
it.
okay. I wasn't sure. It felt very last minute to me.
It
But
was, but that doesn't
Yeah,
mean it's
but that makes it more impromptu. Be like, hey, think about it.
okay.
and we did.
But so I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. But we'll see you next time on King of the
Bye.
Bean.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Wait, everybody
Goodbye.
wave.
Goodbye.